Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the limitations of CFT. When we consider the CFT always express the electrostatic bonding in metal and ligand. And by considering this electrostatic force between the metal and ligand, many problems are solved, but there are still some objections on this particularly theory. It has some limitations, and then after this we are going to see the ligand field theory. We know that in CFT does not consider the orbitals of the ligands, it considers only the metal orbitals, and that are the particularly limitations. We are going to see one by one that limitations. The crystal field theory is better approach than the valence bond theory in some respect to explain the properties of transition metal complexes. For example, CFT can explain the stereochemistry, coordination number, spectral and magnetic properties of some thermodynamic, the dynamics, the kinetic properties of the complexes. However, the CFT suffers from some weaknesses, and that limitations or the weaknesses are as follows. First, it takes into account only the metal d orbitals and does not consider any other orbital such as s and p orbitals of the metal and any other orbital of the ligands also. Second, it considers ligand as point charges. This assumption is far from reality and creates the many difficulties. Third, it does not take into account consider possibility of covalent bonding between metal and ligands at all. There are many properties which cannot be explained unless a partial covalent character is taken into consideration in the complexes. Fourth one, it does not take into account possibility of double bonding between metal and ligand in the complexes. In practice, such a double bonding is present in some complexes. Fifth, the order of ligand in the spectrochemical series is defective. It cannot explain why a negative ion like OH minus produces strong field than the neutral ligand like H2O. It also cannot explain why ligands like CO, which have very low dipole moment and very low electronegativity of atoms, can produce strong field. 6. Nephelogenic effect is clearly an indication of development of covalent character in metal ligand bond, but CFT does not say like this, or it does not consider such type of the possibility. 7. It cannot account for back bonding in complexes, that is double bonding. There are the ligand can donate the electrons to the metal, but metal can donate to the ligand. This possibility is not considered. Last, eighth, it does not explain the charge transfer spectra and the intensities of the absorption band. As we see, the color of the complexes is due to the charge transfer spectra, and intensity of the absorption will be affect more in CTS as well as in DD transition. So such type of the consideration is not made by the CFT. So for the solve these problems or overcome to all these limitations, thereafter it considers the ligand orbitals, and it also consider that there is the new view. For that particularly, again theory will be adjusted, and there is the adjusted crystal field theory, or which is called as the ligand field theory. Some of the limitations of the CFT can be overcome by considering the overlap of ligand orbital with the metal orbital, and inclusion of covalent bonding, such that approach is called as the ligand field theory, LFT. Thank you.